Thanks, comrades. Thanks, media. Let's indicate that we are going to start by addressing the unity of the Alliance in defense of the National Democratic Revolution towards the local government, anti-corruption and cost of living campaigns. The background around that is that the Congress of South African Unions, which is COSATU Gauteng, convened a special provincial executive committee yesterday, the 7th of July, and amongst others, we discussed the unity of the Alliance, anti-corruption, and the cost of living campaigns. The special PEC was convened at the backdrop of nationwide anti-migrants marches organized by March and other ancillary organizations. More importantly, the special PEC was convened during a dark period in the Alliance where differences on the direction of the country and the NDR have a potential to bury the Alliance and abandon the revolution. So we addressed the unity of the Alliance as the special PEC and resolved that it is important to build and strengthen the strong and vibrant tripartite alliance, and also to strengthen the mass democratic movement that organizes and leads the people in the task towards the full attainment of the NDR. This is guided by the 15th Provincial Congress resolution, I need to indicate. And to strengthen the hold of the liberation movement on state power and continue to transform the state machinery to serve the cause of social change. The ANC must take into confidence COSATU, SACP and SANCO to ensure optimal alignment to meet the aspiration of the millions of South Africans who have placed their faith on the ANC. The SACP and COSATU must have a frequent engagement with the ANC to defend the aspirations of South Africans and to defend the unity of COSATU and the unity of the working class. You know, as we discussed as the special PEC, we were guided also by the quote by the late Oliver Tambo, who said, ours is not merely a paper alliance created at the conference table and formalized through signing of documents and representing only an agreement of leaders. Our alliance is a living organism that has grown out of struggle. We have built it out of struggle. We have built it out of our separate and common experiences. Based on that, then the special PEC noted this difficult speech or epoch of our revolution and came strong on the tactical and strategic blunders the ANC has committed over the years. These blunders include, amongst others, corrupt leaders within the alliance, neoliberal policies agenda that benefits capital at the expense of the working class, coalition in the form of GNU with our class enemies, arrogance by the leader of the alliance, allowing government to reverse Resolution 1 of 2018, the bad and emotional handling of the resolve by the SACP to contest election by both the ANC and the SACP, and dividing the workers or dividing of workers because of the preferred party in the alliance to contest elections, and Willindlela in the presidency. So the special PEC also noted the unity of alliance in Gauteng, but lamented the lack of coordinated alliance program of action. It is also appreciated the national alliance relation must not tamper with what is prevailing in the province. This conclusion was arrived at because of the formulation of the government of provincial unity without DA here in the province, through consultation on the formulation of the provincial government, working relationship that COSATU and her affiliates have forged at the Gauteng or of the Gauteng provincial government. As the special PEC, we further lamented divisions in the alliance on the one side and the consolidation of the right wing through Africa Forum, Solidarity and the DA. The arrogance by both the leadership of the ANC and SACP at a national level is plain ignorance to the crisis the alliance is facing. This, according to the special PEC, is dangerous and a recipe for disaster, and will hand the state power on a silver platter to the DA or other opposition parties. So as the special PEC, we concluded that despite the challenges in the alliance, the unity of the alliance is sacrosanct, and the NDR is threatened. Thus, the urgent need to defend these revolutions. So the special PEC noted the outcome of the by-election in Everton, Ward 28, where, as an epitome of alliance partners contesting each other in the election. It is a reflection of a very difficult election campaign, which unfortunately had a risk of all alliance partners contesting the same ones. So the alliance will suffer based on that one. Thus, the special PEC concluded to engage alliance partners on the question of the unity of the alliance in defense of the NDR towards the local government election, to mobilize the alliance partners towards a program to submit memorandum to all national office bearers of alliance partners to register discomfort on the 10 of events in the alliance. And I repeat, to all national office bearers of the alliance. The special PEC further adopted the 3 August 2026 as the day of action to submit this particular memorandum to national office bearers of SANCO, COSATU, SSCP, and the ANC. Though I need to indicate that there will be bilaterals with the alliance. The day of action indicated above will be preceded by thorough engagement with our alliance partners, organizations sympathetic to the alliance, the veterans of the revolution, and those who believe in the NDR. The special PEC noted that the task is difficult, but believe that only organized workers are capable of rescuing the alliance and the NDR. In relation to campaign against corruption, we noted as the special PEC wide corruption in government department and state-owned entities. This has obliterated the capacity of the state to deliver quality services to the working class. The revelation of corruption in school by MEC of Education, Lebogang Maile, was very bitter to swallow. It reflected that corruption is everywhere in the state. The special PEC concluded that amongst the challenges, the revolution is corrupt and corrupted by politicians across political parties, public servants, and business. We further dealt with corruption at Timbisa Hospital and other hospitals in Gauteng, and that is alarming, as has obliterated the capacity of the public health institutions to provide quality health in public health institutions. The special PEC acknowledges the efforts by MEC of Health, Faith Mazibuko, to conduct an audit on health infrastructure project that has started a year ago, but not yet concluded. With this being a case, the special PEC then concluded to launch a campaign to fight corruption in the state. And we have resolved to conduct anti-corruption workshop, train shop stewards to identify corruption indicators and report such to law enforcement agencies, conduct training on ethical conduct and leaders for shop stewards, promote ethics, conduct, and accountability across the leaders or shop stewards of COSATU affiliates. We further or lastly dealt with the cost of living campaign. And as we know that on the 19th of June, we launched as the Federation nationally this particular campaign. But we believe that as the core demands were the continuous increase on the interest rate, electricity, fuel, food, transport, and basic needs, then we believe as the province that we need to launch, the launch of the campaign must not be an end in itself, but means to sustain our demands for affordable cost of living. Then the campaign should target NERSA, municipalities, the Competition Committee, the Department of Minerals, the Department of Electricity, etc. The campaign should take a form of monthly lunchtime demonstration across all sectors organized by COSATU. And we are saying we keep working with the Gauteng provincial government. The special PEC endorsed the resolution by the PEC held in March to work closely with the government. This decision was preceded by the meeting held between COSATU and the Premier of Gauteng and some SMECs. At the core of the meeting, the following was resolved: progress on the 2025 SOPA promised and a report card from COSATU, monitoring of the implementation of projects as announced by the Premier during 2026 SOPA, working together to ensure implementation of annual performance plans and improvement of labor relations between the provinces, building patriotic cadre of the public service and also building an ethical cadre of the public service. The PEC appreciated that POBs met with the MEC Maile to discuss the state of education in the province. And further, the special PEC noted and the courage and energy displayed by MEC Maile to improve the quality of education, governance, scholar transport, school infrastructure, and safety at schools. So the meeting encouraged the POBs to engage all MECs in the province to ensure that all hands are on deck and all will account for the implementation of APPs. Thank you.
Thank you very much.